Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi. My name is Arthur Dressenwall, and I'm here to present to you today and over the next couple of days this 6-part educational YouTube series about topological games. As you can see in the grand tradition of educational YouTube videos that have titles that are just sort of, unintuitive sentences or paradoxical phrases, tangentially related to the topic of the series, I've called this digital artifact the game you can win but cannot play. As I mentioned before, this series will be divided into 6 parts. The first part, the introduction, is what you're hearing about, what you're listening to now. In it, I will describe who I am. As I said, I'm Arthur Dressenwall. I will describe what this series is. As I said, it's a 6-part educational video series about topological games. I will explain why I'm doing this, which, if you're watching this, you probably do know, because, you're probably in Laurie Ziegelmeyer's topology class, or you are Laurie Ziegelmeyer herself. But for that class, we have to create these sort of digital artifacts pertaining to sort of an extension topic in relating to topology, so this is what I'm doing. And explaining, I guess, the upload schedule, and then that this should be coming out Thursday the 11th. Then, as finals become less and less busy for me, I'll crank out more of these until Sunday. The next video, then, will cover the history behind topological games, because there's a really fascinating story about how these things came about. There was this thing called the Scottish Book. It's highly related to, World War II. Very interesting stuff. Gives you a big amount of insight into the culture of mathematical academia at the time. Very interesting. The next video will be just explaining some of the most basic concepts in point-set topology that you'll need to know to understand the stuff in the future. And this video, once more, if you are in, topology class, if you're taking, topology with Laurie Ziegelmeyer, which, if you're watching this video, again, you probably are, you can probably skip this one. This is just in case, someone who's kind of into math but doesn't really know a whole lot of topology starts watching these videos and doesn't want to be totally lost with everything, because this is supposed to be accessible for any reasonably STEM-interested student and not just people who have taken this class. The third video, then, will be where we actually start talking about the games. First discuss, what a topological game is, and what some of the most basic concepts of topological games are. What a strategy is, what a tactic is, and so on. And then we'll talk about the very first topological game that anyone ever came up with, and one of the easiest ones to discuss the strategy for, in fact, the Banach-Mazur game. In episode 4, we will talk about another topological game, one that's very similar to the Banach-Mazur game, and is, in fact, it's probably the most commonly studied variation on the Banach-Mazur game, but it doesn't really have a canonical or commonly used name, so I'm just calling it BMX, because that's what one paper I looked at called it. Then finally, in the 5th video, we will talk about another commonly used topological game, the Choquet game. And then I'll have some concluding remarks about, what the implications of these 3 games are, how infinite games like this and topological games like this have implications for, various areas of mathematics, all that good stuff. So, with that, I suppose I'll see you in the next 5 videos. Have fun!